Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about planning ahead when your routine changes. So having a routine change can be a little overwhelming. I know it's overwhelming because I've been there and I've made a lot of impulsive decisions along the way because I failed to plan. So planning doesn't mean you have to necessarily plan out every minute detail or be perfect the whole time. You can bring a meal with you and then decide to eat out with your friends. It's okay. The point is to be aware of what your options are, aware of your triggers when you want to eat impulsively or badly, and then have some strategies in your tool belt to overcome those times. So for me, I'm going to be working at a mall location, and I normally work at a neighborhood. Now, there are plenty of places for me to eat out in this neighborhood, a lot, like 20. I mean, it is an amazing neighborhood. But it's different when you go to a place where there's restaurants that aren't normally available to you, like chain restaurants or fast food restaurants. It can be kind of dangerous. And you might feel the impulse to say, well, I'll treat myself because I don't normally eat here. And that's totally valid, but here's the thing. If you can't go into that location and choose something that's healthy, then don't go. That's the bottom line. Because this is all about controlling your behavior. You can control that. You totally can. And so let's talk about planning ahead for both bringing your own stuff and eating out. So I went to the grocery store today because for the majority of the places that are going to be available to me at this mall, I don't necessarily trust myself. So I'm just going to set the bar high and say I'm just going to take my own stuff and see what happens, see how strong I'm feeling. And it's just about being mindful about how you're feeling and why am I wanting to eat that? Why am I eating this? Just really checking yourself all the time. So I went to the grocery store and some really simple things you can do if there's a microwave and refrigerator where you're staying, which in a lot of places there are. If you're working, elsewhere, if you are traveling and there's a hotel, typically there's, something somewhere for you to use. And so I got some steam bags of broccoli, and some salad for my vegetables, which are really simple go-tos. There's really, if you have those items at your disposal, a microwave and a fridge, you really have no excuse to not have some vegetables in your life when you travel or go to a place that's not in your normal day routine. So I grabbed some broccoli. There's lots of steam bag type stuff out there. There's a lot of individual sized vegetables things now, which are brilliant and awesome and have changed my life, and I eat a lot more vegetables now. Clearly, it's not necessarily as fresh as some people would like them to be. They're not necessarily from the produce aisle, which is a wonderful place to get your vegetables. And fresh is always great and by all means usually best. But just to continue to eat healthily and eat well, steam bags in the frozen aisle are fine. Some people might contest me on that, but I think that they're fine for me. And I think they make life a little easier too if you have a microwave and you don't have to cook anything. You can always cook ahead also. So there's that. You can always go get some wonderful produce from the produce aisle, cook it ahead of time, make a beautiful meal, and take it with you. Done. That's great. And I advocate for that. If you're like me and you barely know how to cook the steam bag of broccoli, then it makes life a little easier. So for me, I anticipate just making a lot of my meals there, which really only will take me about 5 minutes. I'm actually going to take some, I went over to my grocery store and I also got some chicken breasts that are already cooked. And that makes life a whole lot easier because I'm going to be working not only a different place, but I'm also going to be working about 2 to 3 hours longer in a day than I normally do, and it's a longer commute. So a large part of my day is going to be eaten up by travel time and by just a longer day in general. So I know that by the time I get home, I don't want to cook for the next day. I just want to be able to throw something in a bag and deal with it when I'm more awake at lunch. So I got some chicken breast and some deli turkey slices. So I'm feeling really good about that. And so I'm just going to mix and match. So oftentimes I'll just throw, grilled chicken breast in with a, some steamed broccoli, and I'll put a little bit of barbecue sauce or hot sauce on there. Barbecue sauce is a little dangerous because there's a lot of sugar in there. Hot sauce is typically a little bit better. So just as long as you're staying within your condiment recommendation, you're good. Now this is assuming that you're doing the program that I'm on. And either way, just be aware barbecue sauce has a lot of sugar in it. And you should be able to taste the food that you're eating, not the condiment more, So, and then I'll have, salad. And so I'll bring along my vinaigrette with me, and same rules apply, and, just watch how much additional stuff you put on there. But it just keeps it so simple. And then I can just focus on having a nice lunch, relaxing, not working, So it'll just make life a little easier. Now, there might be a day or two where I'll be there for 5 days where I will want to eat out. I might want to eat out with people that I'm over there with. I just might not be feeling the food that I brought with me. And that's okay too, as long as I go in with a plan. I know the things that I'm allowed to eat via my plan. Like with my plan, lean protein and vegetables. That's my lean and green. So on the plan that I'm on, just to back up a little bit, I eat 6 small meals a day, spread out over every 2 to 3 hours. And typically with my schedule and my job, I gravitate towards having the ready-made shakes or the awesome candy bar, like they're bars. They're like, they're the same shape as like what you get like a granola bar, but they're awesome. Anyway, and I love the peanut butter chocolate bar and the chocolate mint bar are my favorites. Like those I eat constantly. Because those are the fastest to make. Well, you just have to open the wrapper. But they're just easy. They make life easy. So I'll go with those. Sometimes I'll bring along something like the brownie, which takes a minute to make, or the soft baked cookie, which takes a minute to bake. They also have a soup, but I usually eat that once I'm home. So you kind of have to know your plan and how much time you're willing to spend making something. So for this week, knowing I might not have a lot of time, I'm just going to bring a lot of my bars with me and call it good. But I'm still going to bring a lot of variety. When you're in a new environment, you might already feel overwhelmed by the newness of it and the desire to eat out at new places, that your ho-hum everyday food that you bring might feel a little boring. So I recommend also changing up what you eat. So if you've been gravitating towards one bar all the time, change it up. Eat a little differently. I'm not going to rely on just that one bar all the time. I'm going to have probably 5 different flavors of bars with me throughout the day, just so I have that choice. So I feel like I'm making a choice, that I'm not just limited. And then, so 6 and 1. So I eat 6 small meals a day, or 5 and 1. Let me back up. So I know I'm not talking well. I'm done with work and I'm not talking well today. 6 small meals a day, spread out over every 2 to 3 hours. 5 of those are the prepackaged foods that I just got done talking about. And one of those is called the lean and green, which is just lean protein. The leaner it is, the more of it you can have. And then servings of vegetables. So that's what I'm talking about. Because typically I eat my lean and green during my lunch break in the middle of my day. It's just what I've gravitated towards. It's worked really, really well. I look forward to it. So it's pretty cool. And so that's what I've prepared myself for with the steamed bags of broccoli and the chicken and the salad. And that's what I'm preparing for. But if I go to eat out, I know that I will have to choose something that has lean protein and vegetables. Not a huge bread basket and a thing full of pasta. Not a big carrot cake or tiramisu at the end kind of thing, right? I'm sticking with the plan that I know and love. So if you are going to eat out, I would recommend looking ahead before you go there at the menu so that you know exactly what you're going to order when you get there. And even if you don't know you're going to go, it doesn't hurt to just kind of go and look at, oh, they have an Applebee's, or they have a Big Bowl, or they have this, and this. I'm going to check it out so that way if and when I do go, I know what I'm going to get, I know how I'm going to order it, I know what I'm about to expect, so that you're not impulsively ordering something and eating way more than you should and eating outside of the scope of your plan, whatever it might be. Because being in a new place is not worth wrecking the momentum that you've built for yourself. It's just not. So the more you can plan ahead, the more you can be mindful of your triggers for impulsively eating or emotionally eating. If you have a bad day while you're in this new environment, whatever it might be, planning ahead and being mindful are just primary ingredients to success while you're there. Um, so that's it. Just plan ahead. Know what you're going to eat. Bring some things to make it fun. Change up how you eat so it feels like you're still keeping things fresh and different, but it's still within your plan. And then if you're going to eat out, research before you go, so that way you have a solid foundation once you walk in the door. So also, I just like to throw it out there that I have lost about 5 pounds. I'm down to 187, and I believe the last time I said hello, I was 192. So yay! It's very exciting. I'm feeling better. I've been on plan, and it's just great. I'm also officially a health coach now for this program, and I'm pretty stoked. Activated my account, activated my website. Everything is awesome. Now all I need is just people to help and people to do it with me. And so what's really cool is that I'm just here as a guide. Like, it's free coaching. You don't pay me per hour. You don't pay me anything, actually. And it's a pretty rad program. I'm just here to be your guide through the program. It's you who chooses to make it all happen and to change your life. And when I first started, I knew I needed to change my life, but I was intimidated and I was overwhelmed and I was scared because I was so used to being overweight. Isn't that crazy? You're just used to being unhealthy. But it's amazing, you know, 6 months later, how I feel about myself, how I move, the movement of my body is different. And this plan is just, it's so simple. And I've met so many people who have benefited from it and have changed their lives because of it, have slimmed down, have gotten healthier, overcome morbid obesity, avoided bariatric surgery. It's truly amazing. And the more people that I tell, hey, I'm a health coach now, they say, oh, my mom's a health coach, or oh, I have a friend who's doing that program. That's really awesome. So it clearly does amazing things for people if they choose to let it. So if you have questions or if you know anyone who might want to know more, please send them my way. I would love to talk with them. I'd love to help them out. Definitely send them towards my website. It's bestversionofyou.tsfl.com. So bestversionofyou.tsfl.com. I'll put it up on the screen. And also, if they want to contact me or have any questions, my email address is Ericka, ERICKA, does life at gmail.com. So Ericka, ERICKA, does life at gmail.com. So yeah, that's it for today. I'll definitely check back with you about how the week is going or how it went, depending on how my week goes. I'll be in and out frequently, and I'm just excited to see how this goes. I'm really stoked to be on top of the planning, and I just look forward to being really proud of myself at the end of it and saying I didn't succumb to my normal impulsive behavior when I'm in a new place. So thanks, guys, for catching up with me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Have a great week.